Hello, and welcome to another episode of Confero's Reporting at a Glance. My name is Paul Jacoby, and I'm the Data Services Manager at Confero. Today's episode is called Compass Dashboards, Recent Evaluations and Your Score. This episode will be the first of several that go into the variety of reporting widgets that can be placed on your dashboard views and how adjusting a variety of settings on them can deliver the results and data comparisons you wish to see. This video may run a little longer than some future ones because it will be the first time we're educating you on many of the settings available. Let's get started. We will first start by creating a new blank view. As you saw in a previous video, this is accomplished by under the Views selector, selecting Create a New View. From here, we give the new view a name, choose whether we want to start with an empty view or base it on the current one, and what the default survey will be. Next, to start adding widgets, you click the plus icon in the upper left corner. This will pull up a list of all the widgets that can be used. I also like to pin the list open when I'm going to be adding multiple widgets. Next, it's simply easy to scroll down, find a widget you wish to use, in this case the Your Score widget, and drag it onto your dashboard. You can use multiples of the same widget on a view, so I'm going to add a second one to show how you can view side-by-side results. One of the most important settings to set early on, and it will depend on the nature of the view, is under Surveys, you want to lock in what results you will be viewing. I'm going to choose Store Visit for both of these to start. Choosing a survey also will help unlock some of the options available on a particular widget. The next setting I'm going to use is the date ranges. By default, it sets to use global setting. This simply means that the results shown are based on the dates the user has selected. However, I'm simply changing one to current period and the other to previous period. By doing so, we are now seeing results of what's currently happening and then what the previous period results were, side by side. Changing the one we made previous to year to date, and now instead we're seeing our current results versus the year to date results. One thing to note is that when you lock down a widget to viewing results other than the default and or current period, you will see an information bar displayed beneath the title detailing that. And speaking of the title, now is a good time to point out how important it can be to adjust the title of your widgets to more clearly indicate what score is being shown. So, under the widget title, you are allowed to freeform put in whatever makes most sense for your team. I am simply going to call this one Current and call this one Year to Date. And we can see the names appear right up at the top. By default, the Your Score widget initially shows the overall score. But with one simple change, you can display a section score instead. Using this option on a variety of widgets can be handy if you wish to set up views for department managers who are only focused on certain aspects of your program. I will simply choose the Greeting section, change that. And the other is widget title, and we can change this to Current Greeting. And now we have the current greeting score versus the overall. The last setting I will play with on a Your Score widget today is returning to the Surveys option. For those clients that have multiple surveys in their program, using this setting with multiples of the same widget is a great way to see one survey's results compared to another survey's. For this example, I'm going to leave this one, as we did earlier, set to Store Visits, and I'm also going to put the score back to Entire Survey. And on this other widget, I am going to choose the Phone Calls 2019 survey. And now we should change the titles as well. So we will call this Store Visit, and we will call the other one Phone. And as simple as that, you are now viewing the results from two surveys in your program side by side to see how their results compare. The other widget we will discuss today is the recent evaluations. For those familiar with our older reporting, this is akin to the shop logs. We'll drag this one out onto the dashboard. When we first drag this widget onto the dashboard, it defaults to a graphic view showing a colored dot for each recent shop. The colors aligning to location hierarchy as noted in the legend key. Hovering over a dot will display information such as shop date, location, and score. The first setting we're going to adjust is widget sizes. If your program has lots of shops conducted, you can imagine the cluster of dots might be hard to read in that confined space. Changing it to full width will allow for more space and make this report easier to read. However, while the visual representation is nice because it allows the user to easily see the outlier performers, sometimes a simple list or table is preferable. For that, we're going to adjust the graph type setting. By changing this from graph to table, now gives you a list of your recent evaluations instead. For many of our clients, they have members of their management team that are focused on more granular aspects of the program. As an example, an age verification program might have someone that reaches out to those who failed to ask for ID. To that point, many of the dashboard widgets have the response filters option that allows for a type of data mining. To make use of this, much like we did with the Your Score, we need to set the surveys option first. Set it to phone calls 2019. And now, under the options, we can go to response filters. This gives you a drop-down list of all the questions available on the survey form. I'm going to use, was the associate's greeting warm and friendly? And then for a response, I'm going to choose no. This now gives you a filtered list of just those shops where the shopper indicated the greeting was not warm and friendly. I hope today's video helped showcase some of the power and flexibility of the Dragon dashboards and how, by changing just a couple of options, you can dig further into your results. Future videos will continue to demonstrate the other widgets available to you. Thank you for watching, and we appreciate your business.